go.
What's up, guys? Another episode of the pod. A little earlier shoot, so we don't get one view this week. So we got a nice little Tuesday night film session here. I'm here with the commissioner himself, the nation himself.
Hey, hi, hello.
That's it, and we're gonna get this thing going. We'll do a quick little recap here. Top of my screen, I got my matchup with Timmy. Almost beat him by 100. Spanked a little goose around.
Wasn't that supposed to be close? I heard
that was supposed to be close, and all this stuff, and I tap in, and Timmy tapped the wrong can.
Oh,
and,
no, he tapped out. That's what happened.
Yeah,
the
goose. I was cooking. The goose was already done, cooked by 1:30 on my cookout. In my cookout, it was already cooked. Yeah, I started it too early. It was on. So that's it. I'm done wasting breath. Goose. Better luck next week.
I will say Jerry Judy looked incredible.
Yes,
Jerry
he did.
Judy looked incredible.
Yep.
He did look incredible.
Oh no, Chris and Kirk also.
Kirk's been getting the looks. Yeah,
Yep.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Yep, but they can't each score 50 points. So, Tim. And then go into dude, we actually had some pretty good matchups the rest of the way. I don't like to waste time here. I'm just going to go in order.
Not super high scoring, but I mean some good ones.
Not super high scoring. So we had Bubs and Grizz matchup. Crazy to see. That was a big matchup, and it was 116 to 106. So that's like not as advertised with the scoring.
No.
But I mean, Grizz, you got killed at running back. I'll let you chime in on this. I don't need to. See.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it was up. I just traded for JC, and he, laid an egg because all they were doing is passing ball because they were somehow losing to Dallas the whole game. Figure that one out.
So tilting.
Yeah, and then and then I got I threw in Hasty because Carson was hurt. And he had McKinnon, and at the very end of the game, it was like I had 3 points with Hasty, and he had like 5. And at the end of the game, he just got a bunch of garbage time that helped him. And then with Justin Jackson, I put in there
first drive. He got hurt.
First drive. He actually got hurt in pregame, and they let him play instead of just shutting him down. They screwed over all the fantasy football owners.
Chargers,
and gave me a 0 there. Ingram, I finally got a tight end that showed up, and then Crowder. I had what's his name?
Crowder sucks, dude.
Myers.
I had Myers in there all week, and then once Crowder was lined up, ready to go full speed, I switched them, thinking the Jets were going to be behind New England, and the Jets showed up, and I would have won if I kept Myers in.
Crowder had 2 targets, which was, he's been getting peppered all year too. So that was big.
Cut Myers.
Myers ball.
I cut him.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you had him. You caught him.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that was low scoring matchup. I mean, Brady flopped. Running backs were not there. It was Chark and Diggs pretty much took the win over for him. And
Chark
you
scored
played
30 out of nowhere.
Chark killed out of nowhere. I know. And you played 3 running backs. You played 3 running backs, and you got 7 points. So
yes,
that's a tough loss for you.
Yep. Welcome to my world, Chris. That's how I've been living my life this season.
Now you guys are both 5-4.
Yep. Now it's
speaking of your life hitch. You had a matchup with Sam. I mean, the whole league obviously wanted to see that upset happen. For ranking purposes and your playoff purposes. You've had a couple tough losses with scoring points. I'll let you kind of touch base on where you stood on that matchup since it's yours.
So, I mean, should have left Swift in over AB. Expected that to be like a high scoring game and Brady to like force him the ball, and just didn't happen. If I left Swift in, I mean, he only scored 11, but would have been enough to win. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah. I mean,
Sam's
tough. I mean, you would think though, game script AB would get peppered. He's there, he's going to have a better than 6-point game. But Sam jumped on the back of Devontae Adams, and Josh Allen had a big week. But other than that, very mediocre week from him.
That's what
second week in his lineup and had done anything. And Derrick Henry flopped, and that's a rare thing to see. So
And what was nice is Josh Allen, matched, Hitch's Kyler Murray there with 39 points, because usually something like that is like a huge difference maker.
Game changer.
Seattle just sucks that bad on defense. They suck.
They suck.
Yeah, because they got Jamal Adams back too, and they still did that.
Their secondary sucks. They're
not good.
They've given up so many big games to receivers, quarterbacks. They suck.
And that's why Russ is just gonna cook, because they're never gonna be up 21-0.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, good thing for you. I mean, I won't sit on long and talk about this topic, although I'd love to just have a pod about it. Tua looked amazing.
Amazing.
I could talk all day about it. I got all my Dolphins stuff ordered.
Amazing.
So, all right, now I'm gonna save that one for last. We had another tough matchup, another crucial ranking matchup, which they're pretty much like that here on out for the most part now because the rankings are so close. Nikki got beat by Garrett by 6 points, 5.5 technically.
That was close.
Garrett broke the trend.
Game.
He broke the trend.
He broke the trend. We had a pod and Garrett won. So, and we all picked against him on the pod.
What's the trend? What's the trend?
Every time we
episode. No one watched the last episode. They don't
oh my God. The last episode was pretty
He watched it though, so that's all that matters.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Nice.
Good.
He watched it.
He was the one view. He was
our viewer.
He watched it.
Gary.
So yeah. So for people the other 9 that didn't chime in, including myself, but I was here. So I guess it's only like 6 others, right? Or 7 others.
And,
we said that every time we do a pod, Garrett loses. So that was the ongoing joke. Garrett had to win his quarterbacks, kills it. Rodgers, the Herbert. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Dynasty sometimes, man. You never know when a player's going to explode. When you draft him in the rookie draft, and Herbert exploded. Maybe covering ground for Zeke, but who knows?
Well, that's what we talked about. Like we talked about that the big difference in this game was going to be quarterbacks, and that's kind of where, if you look at the differences right down the board, that was the one that sticks out to me. I mean, maybe
his quarterbacks
tight ends,
but Nicky's skill players were pretty consistent. Kamara 16, Robinson 16, Juju 21, Fuller 24, Anderson 15.
That's why he put up 133.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
exactly. It's just a Nicky with the lack of quarterbacks, man. He's gonna have a tough time making that last push for playoffs. And
I mean, Tannehill also isn't that like, because I have him in a redraft. He has like a little stretch right here where he has really tough matchups, and then it opens up. So if he can sneak into the playoffs, then at least Tannehill is capable of being a top 12 QB1 in
100%
fantasy football. He's done, ever since he's been a starter, he's been putting up decent numbers. He just tough matchups sometimes.
We were,
but you need and Nick Mullins in your QB2 is not ideal. Especially getting in
not
playoffs.
ideal.
Well, he's got Baker. Baker, hopefully,
not ideal.
Also not ideal.
Not ideal, but he's better than Mullins. He's better than Mullins, in my opinion.
Flacco's better than Mullins,
right?
I don't know about that.
And then another shake-up matchup here. French doesn't play CMC. The only person that plays fantasy football in the United States that didn't think CMC was worthy of a start over Mike Davis, and literally is the reason why he lost. I mean, that was huge for playoff purposes for him, for the rankings, right? It shakes the rankings up, and now there's big question marks. Who's going to get buys? Where the rankings going to be at? And he just bailed Boyani out with that play, and lost.
Is it that he didn't think that he was going to be playing, or he thought Mike Davis was a better play?
It started out, I think I read that he said that at first made Mike Davis and then was a better play. And then he started saying how he was busy and couldn't pay attention. And I don't think French knows exactly what excuse he wants to use with not playing CMC. He's still figuring it out. And French, when you figure out exactly the excuse you want to move forward with and why you didn't play CMC, we'll be here waiting. But that's that.
Now he's hurt again, so that sucks.
And now he's hurt again, so now he's never going to see your lineup this year.
Well, CMC is one of those guys that if he's
on
the field, if CMC's on the field, if he's active, he's one of those players that you play him, doesn't matter, because he's going to a 75% healthy CMC is better than 100% Mike Davis.
They were trying to say they were going to split snaps and series and rotate.
Then you play CMC.
They
Then you
always
play
bullshit.
CMC. I'll take
Total
CMC's
bullshit.
half over Mike Davis.
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
I didn't buy that shit for a
split it.
second. I did not.
I didn't buy it either. I sat Mike Davis in one of my.
He's
other
only
leagues
played
on Tuesday.
He's only played 3 games, and he's 30 PPR game, which is the highest in the NFL for any flex position. So he's the clear alpha in fantasy football. So unfortunate. Hopefully
now I saw this on like NFL Now today. Does Dalvin deserve respect to be in the same tier as CMC?
No,
not yet.
Doesn't catch enough passes.
Yeah, I think that's
okay.
He's just running like he's already got
plays.
He's already got
touchdowns.
Well, he's got 12 rushing touchdowns, and that's why these guys are alphas like Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook, and you know what I mean, because they have chances to hit these crazy home runs. So in that sense, yes, he does deserve to be in that tier. But CMC's workload of 23 carries and 9 targets or whatever is just you know what I mean. That's never going to be.
I mean, they throw the ball,
so
but
from
not
a
as much
from
this
a
year.
workload standpoint, no. From a stealing any given week standpoint, yes.
I agree. Yeah,
I just don't think any other player running back wise is ever going to see a workload like he sees. I mean, and the same thing
minus Kamara this year because of all the catches.
And the Vikings are always happy to, if they have a huge lead in the fourth quarter, like to sit Cook down because of all his injury history. So that's part of it too. CMC, I mean, that guy came off an injury and they played him 90% of the snaps and gave him 30 touches. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
But he got hurt again too, so you don't know whether or not
he's definitely in that tier.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's only 4 players right now averaging over 25 PPR a game, and that's Cook, CMC, Devontae Adams, and Alvin Kamara. Those are the only 4. So those are the biggest edges in fantasy right now, those 4 players.
Boom. That's it. Fun little question though. There you go.
I like it.
Which I'm not arguing either. I think it's CMC is the superior, and then the Kamara, Cook, and all that.
Just signed that contract. I mean, he was looking like not so valuable before he signed that contract. If he wasn't going to be in Minnesota now, he's looking healthy. He's 25 years old, looking
leads
awesome.
the league in rushing. Yeah.
Yep, 12 rushing touchdowns, just across the board.
And already had his bye.
Total stud.
All right, so moving to rankings here. Sam and Boyani sit at 1 and 2 at 7 and 2, which had close matchups that could have been shaken up, given the Hitch upset and the CMC play.
Tough loss.
I think Boyani has a almost a shoe-in for the bye now. But myself at 6 and 3 at 3, Grizz, Bubs at 5 and 4 at 4 and 5, Garrett at 5 and 4. I'm sorry, Grizz and Bubs 5 and 4. You got Garrett at 6 in the last playoff spot due to having 2.5 more points than Nikki, because Nikki has the same record at 4 and 5. And then you have Goosey at 3 and 6, and the Firm and the Abusement 2 and 7 at 9 and 10.
So 6 and 7 will be the last playoff spot, probably, right? 6 and 7.
I would have to look at schedules, but I think it's still depending on what how the schedules line up. Because Adam, I think the 3 teams are. I mean, hey, I'm at 5 and 4 too. I'm on a losing streak. I've lost 3 in a row.
You are on a losing streak.
I think 6 and 7.
Tiebreaker, but I'll probably have the tiebreaker over because I have 70 more points than Adam. So as of right now, I got a good tiebreaker on all 3 of them. So that's where I feel safe. That's where I feel safe.
And Garrett and Nikki both have more points than Bubs. So
right.
Garrett and Nikki get a win and